Hey folks, welcome back to Software Testing Hacks and Selenium WebDriver series. In this video, let's talk about how we can handle dynamic web table. In the previous video, we spoke about how we handled static web table, correct? So before we begin, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Let's begin. So here we have this static web table where the elements will remain same, which means that the data won't vary. So data won't change. Okay. So apart from that, we have something called dynamic web table, where the data will vary. There can be an insertion of a row, okay, or deletion of a row. Okay, certain actions is possible with that table. So that is called as dynamic web table. Also, you might have seen as soon as the record size increases, the pagination would also come into picture, which is, if you see here, you can see that the pages here are also aligned. Once after it reaches certain, limit. Suppose in a page, let's say 10 records that needs to be displayed, then only 10 will remain in the first, and then the next 10 will go into the second. So in the same way, this is also comes into picture. So today we are going to discuss about how we can handle the dynamic web table where insertion is possible, deletion of a record is possible, and also if we are able to edit, then that also is possible. So all this we will see using this demo QA website. So here, if you see, we can add record. Okay, we can enter some values here. Okay, fill it and then submit. Okay, so that is how first thing is we can add a record, and also we should be able to edit a record as well. Okay, so this is just a dummy website. So what we are going to do is we will perform addition of a record. Okay, and then editing the any of the particular value. Okay, and then we will try to search for a record, delete the record. Okay, all this we will do in this particular session. First, let's try to inspect this. Okay, so first we'll click on this add button, add new record. So there is an ID present. So once we click on this, we will fill all these details. I hope this all is having ID. Okay, first name is also having ID, and then the last name is also having ID. So it's easy, correct? So email is also having ID here. Yes, username, ID, user email, sorry, and then age. Okay, so everything is having ID. What we have to do is we will have to fill in all the details and then click on the submit button here. Okay, let's inspect that. So this is annoying. Let's, okay, fine. So, and in the same way, we will fill all the details and then we will click on the submit button. Okay, if you see here, submit button, we can directly inspect it. Okay. So, all this we will perform with the help of this Selenium script. So, we have already a set of tests we have written. So, I have sending the keys for first name, test, and then second name or last name, user email address. All this we have already seen that all these are having IDs, and then we are adding a particular record. So, that is one action that we are doing. Okay. After doing adding all this, what we are doing is we are just trying to see if the particular record is added or not. How we are doing it is, let's copy this CSS selector. Okay. After we add it, okay. So here, if you see, there are 10 records which it actually showing, right? So there are multiple records are there. Here, rows are there basically. So what we are trying to do is we will loop through all of this and then see the record that we inserted got added or not. So here we have to add, we have to use WebDriver. Uh, so here we have to use the driver dot find element. Why? Because we are storing multiple elements here. Okay, and then we are checking if the first name contains test and then the next name contains user. Okay, so we are checking whether this values are present or not. Test and then user is present or not. If present, then we are coming and then writing whether it is passed or failed. Okay, so let's run this and then see whether we are able to add the new record or not. So yes, we are able to add. Yes, you see, this record got inserted and also we verified whether test and then user is present or not. So which confirm that the addition of the record is successful. Okay. So this is very first thing because as this is a dynamic table, we must be able to insert the data as well and then edit the data. So all these actions we can perform. So next we will see whether we are able to edit the record or not. So here is a small piece. So let me close this here. Okay, what we are doing here is so first we will find the element which is uh, edit button. So let's copy this. Let me show you this how it works. So here let's take something because the record is not present here. Okay. So how we are identifying it is first is we identified the text based on this first name. Okay. And then we are using ancestor. Okay. Ancestor. And then div. Let's try to remove this and we will see. So you can see that this is getting highlighted. Okay. Because we have used using the text to identify its path basically. After that, we are using ancestor. And then first we will identify the class RT and then PR group. Okay, so this basically. And then from here we are trying to get the span and then title here. Okay, so this is present here. Edit is present here. Title is edit. So this is how first we identified. Okay, we are able to see that this element is present. So which on click of this edit page will get opened. Okay, so remember while we are doing this, if you have not not clear about how this ancestor and then these things works, siblings, all these things works, I have already made a video on it. And you can also find it in the expat playlist as well, so you can go and then check it once. Okay, so and after that we are performing click. Okay, once we click on an element, we are trying to edit the salary field. Okay, salary field and then clicking on the submit button. So simple. So we clicked on the edit and then we are editing the salary, clearing this field and then entering the salary and then clicking on the submit. Okay, so this is what we are going to do now. So just notice that basically the X path is important. How we are identifying the XPath is one major thing as well. Okay. So if we directly use this, it will identify multiple elements, correct? So I can also use this only the edit. You might be confused why we are using this pattern. So I'll show you. If we give this, so you can see that three records were identified, but we want for a specific user, correct? So for that reason, what we did is first we identified this first name. Okay, based on that, we are performing the edit operation. So that is what we are doing. So let's run this and then see. Close this and then we will rerun this. Okay. Yeah, maximized. Enter the values. Click on edit and then yes, it updated the value to 6,000. Can you see? So we will also check whether the edited amount is matching with the expected value or not. So here is to verify whether it is updated or not. So we will particularly get the row which is updated and then we will check whether it contains the updated value or not. Just simple. So we will paste the path. So what we are doing is simple. So here if you see, we just have get that particular value using get text method and then checking whether the updated row it contains the value 6,000 or 60,000 or not. If it contains 60,000, then it is passed. If it doesn't, if it doesn't match, then it gets failed. Okay. So let's see. So this is the one which we are taking. So if you see particular value, so we have updated it to some other value because the value which we added won't be present because as it is a dummy, so it won't be present. So what I've done is I've taken the existing one. You see, it returned me this it is highlighting this particular row. If we expand this, we are checking whether one of this value is 6,000 or not. Okay. So if it contains 6,000, then well and good, it passes. Suppose now we have updated it to 6,000. But I will change this value to something else. It is updated to 60,000. Yes. Can you see? It got failed. This is not matching. So that's why let's put 3,000. Okay. Now, now it should pass. Like this is slow. Let's close this. Okay. And then let's rerun this again. Now it compares and then you can see it is passed. Okay. So this is how we can verify whether a particular, in a particular web table, whether the updation is happening properly or not. But in static, we do not get this chance. It will remain the same. You cannot perform any action on it. Okay. So now, fourth thing is we will search for the record. Simple. There is a search box. Okay. And you can see search box is having ID. We have used that ID to identify the search box. Okay, let's remove this comment. Okay, so we are searching and then we are entering the value, whatever we added, whether it is present or not. Okay, so and then in the result, we are just trying to identify and then get text of the field which contains test, and if it is present, then we are going to pass it, otherwise it will fail. First, let's see the positive side. Okay, so let's run this. So can you see it added, edited, and then it, it is able to search and we got the record. Okay, so that is why what it will print is passed, correct? So it says that it is passed. Let's close this. But what I'm going to do is let's search for something test 123, which we haven't added this record. So now this should get failed because no results will be found when we are searching for something which is not available in the table, correct? Yes. Can you see? It searched for search 123, but there are no records for it. Now it has failed. Okay, the condition is failed. So this is how we can perform multiple actions. And finally, what we are doing is let's create, edit, okay, and then check whether the updated value is matching or not, and search for the record. Finally, we are going to delete this record. Okay. So how we are deleting it? So you must have already know that the basic idea you must be already having, because how we did the edit, in the same way we are doing the delete. We are identifying the particular row here. Okay, let's inspect. Okay, so instead of test, let's use something here. So if you see, we added for this particular, it is highlighting also, if you see. Okay, so based on this, we are trying to search this delete button. Okay, and click on this and then perform the delete. First we identified it, okay, and then clicking on the delete button and just waiting for a second, and after that we will loop through all the rows which are present here. We will loop through all the rows whatever is present here, and then we will check whether our expectation is this row should not contain test, correct? So we are getting the text and then checking whether it is present or not. Ideally, initially we have assigned the Boolean value true, okay? And then if it is not found, then is deleted will get false. When the condition is satisfied, we are breaking it. We are applying the break so that the search won't continue. Okay. And then finally, we are printing the value whether it is passed or not. Okay. So simple. Um, we will run the script and then see. We added a record and then editing is done, and then searching. Searching will fail because ideally we have to pass the correct value. I think it will halt the execution now. Yes. So let's pass the just test here. Let's close this and we will rerun this. Okay. Added quickly. Fine. Again, we will rerun. Something is so we are adding a record done, editing is done, searching is done, and then after that, delete is also done. Okay. So simple. We just first added a record by identifying all the boxes, text box. Okay. And then we loop through all these elements and then check whether the test is present or not. Okay. If it is present, we are uh, printing passed. If it is not present, then we are marking it as failed. First thing. And then the next thing, we are identifying the edit button using the particular um, first name. Okay. And then we are editing it and then updating the salary. Okay. And then clicking on the submit button. Okay. And finally, after the edit is completed, we are identifying the particular updated row. Okay. And then grabbing all the text and then checking whether the field contains the updated value or not. Okay. Third thing. Fourthly, we are just identifying the search box. Okay. And then entering the value. And then we are seeing whether this particular test is present or not. If it is present, then it will print passed. Otherwise, it will print failed. Finally, in the delete, we are in the same way identifying the um, delete button using the first name cell. Okay. And then after that, we are clicking on the delete button. After delete is completed, we are checking whether a particular test, whatever we added, is deleted or not. If it is deleted, so for that, you need to know this for each loop. So it will go through all the rows in the table and then it will compare it. Okay. It will compare it whether it contains test or not. If it contains, then we are marking it as false. I mean, the deletion is failed. Otherwise, it is passed. If the deletion has happened, then it will pass. So this is how we are handling the dynamic web table. So please let me know in the comments if you have any more questions or doubts on it. If you have liked this video, please do like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.